This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio, and no Matt Allen today. So I'm not all by myself, so I brought some friends in. But this is Bumper to Bumper Radio, heard every Saturday from 11 to noon. At Bumper to Bumper Radio, we are helping you, the motoring public, have a better overall car experience. So if you got car questions, we've got car answers. I encourage you to give us a call at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. And you can also text your questions to 411-923. And today on the Bumper to Bumper Roadmap, we're going to have a car tip of the week. And, of course, open phones and text. And proactive or reactive auto repair, which do you do? But, again, let me introduce some people to you. I've got Lee Weatherby with Accurate Automotive. They're a supporter of the show at Bumper to Bumper Radio. And then we've also got Michael Henry in the studio. He never comes down.
Never.
He just does all the work behind the scenes, but he never comes down. But we got him in studio. And, of course, we got Carrie Quinn over here keeping us in line. But we got Michael in studio, so we got to be on our best behavior.
Dave already said he was going to turn my mic off, so that was.
I did.
That's going to happen probably in how many seconds?
You're talking. I'm holding the cough button down, but you keep coming through. So anyway, hey Lee, it's good to have you on. It's been a little while.
Been a little bit. It's great to be here, Dave. Thanks for having me.
For sure. Accurate Automotive. Now you guys are over there in Mesa off Robson.
That is correct. 441 South Robson, right in the heart of Mesa.
How long have you been fixing cars?
You know, I've been fixing cars since I was 13.
13, okay.
We've been in the Mesa region for about 27 years.
All right. So if you guys got car questions between Lee and myself, Carrie and Michael will be no help, but between the two of us, we should be able to get you guys some good car answers at 602-277-5827. And Lee, when we were talking yesterday, I said, hey, what is it that you want to get across tomorrow to the listeners about taking care of their car? And he said, well, we can talk about quality, we can talk about, and then we really ended up talking about having a plan.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm thinking, well, there's proactive auto repair and maintenance, and there's reactive auto repair and maintenance. And the folks that are regulars at your store, you know, at your shop, and they're doing all the maintenance and that kind of thing, you actually never see their car show up on a tow truck.
That's exactly right, because you know what? They're involved. They're educated. They're really, like you said, proactive. You know, with their maintenance and with the plan of action that they have. They have, you know, on the line of what do you want from your car? You know, how do you see it? Do you want it, you know, for a week? Do you want it for a year? Do you want this thing to last forever? They know exactly where they want to go, and if we can literally sit and talk with them, understand what their needs are, we can usually meet or exceed, you know, what their expectation is by just having a simple conversation.
No, you're talking about like relationships.
Absolutely, brother.
Yes.
Gotta have it.
And that relationship when it comes to auto repair is such a big deal. And you know, the times I've been by your shop and the people that come in, they're literally part of your family.
They are part of our family.
You know, is it your tagline is friends serving friends, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In that part of it, having rapport with your shop is a big deal. So plan number one, have a shop. Don't be an orphan customer. You know, some people go, oh, I got a coupon over here, I'll go there. Oh, I got a coupon over there, I'm going to go there. It would be like going to a different pediatrician every time.
It is.
With your kid. You wouldn't do that.
No, you wouldn't do it. And the real value that comes in repeating, going to the same location, is that you build that rapport, that relationship, but they get to know you, your style, your car. You know, imagine the technician seeing your car and becoming very familiar with, you know, its traits and quirks and everything else. And then every time you come in, you just feel comfortable. You know, you're ready. In other words, car repair is no longer this mystical thing that people do.
It creates all kinds of anxiety.
Absolutely not.
Well, the other question I was asking before the show, how many people, just the broad public, actually know how many miles a year they drive their car?
Boy, see, I would say that most people, they have an idea, but it's
Sort
not
of.
close. Yeah, I would say probably less than 10, 15%, really know how many miles they're putting on their car per annum.
And your response was, hey, we tell our customers, we keep them in the loop so they kind of know what they're doing, so
You
they
bet.
can kind of plan. That's a huge expense in your lifetime is your automotive deal.
You bet.
So you got to take care of it. You got to know.
But over the course of that lifetime of that vehicle, you can really help them save a ton of money by being exactly like you said, proactive. You bet.
So let's just break it down in simple terms. So if you're the average Arizona motorist, you're driving 15,000 miles a year.
Right. Yeah.
Me in particular, I'm an oil change guy every 5,000 miles. That's what I prescribe to. So essentially, you're going to be in the shop 3 times a year.
Perfect.
And it's one of those deals. I go to the dentist twice a year.
Right.
And when I go to the dentist and I get my cleaning, they actually make an appointment at the counter for my next cleaning.
You bet.
And it's just something I put in my calendar. I think auto repair should be the same way, or oil change and maintenance. Hey, I'm going to be in the shop 3 times. Now it's not, because people get a little crazy about their car when they don't really know what's going on with it.
You bet.
They get all this compulsive, crazy thought, and really just knowing what's going on just relieves all that anxiety.
There's no question about it. And, you say you're a 5,000 guy. I'm a 3,000 guy, time-honored values. But the key to it is anymore there's so much confusion out there, Dave, because, all the manufacturers are saying, hey, you can extend the life of this. But what they really don't understand is if you're wanting to keep your vehicle, and you want to keep it for an extended period of time, you want to become, like you say, way more proactive, all right, in doing the maintenance. And 3 times a year, that's just about a bare minimum, because whether or not, it's not like you're going to need a bunch of things every time they come in.
Right.
What you need to do is make sure that you don't have any hidden things pop up. Get a little nail in the tire, something, Michael was sharing a story with us earlier, you know what I mean, that some fellas at your shop had identified. And it's invaluable. That kind of information is invaluable. It's not always heeded, but guess what? Just by simply having the know that something could be up here,
Right.
is tremendously valuable for the drivers.
So 3 times a year if you're that average driver, and just knowing how many miles a year you drive, and it just kind of plan and predict, how long do I really want to keep the vehicle? For me, I think the modern vehicle is easily good for 200,000 miles.
You
Easily.
bet. Well, I agree. I think that, and depending on the brand and type, some vehicles will go well beyond that, 500,000-600,000 miles. But it all, again, boils down to how well and how proactive you will be at maintaining, and then being consistent. Everything is about consistency. You don't go to a restaurant one time because it had a good meal, and then the next time you go, it's terrible. You want to go back a third time, right? And ready to jump right in.
Exactly.
When you are going with your vehicle, and you're consistent about going, you expect the same level, the same value, the same quality each and every time, and even the same people. You know what I mean? You get a chance to build that rapport and that relationship with those folks.
What is one of the things that you see people overlook? You said, you got customers, you do see them 3-4 times a year, but then you got customers you see once a year. And when they come in once a year, it's triage.
Yeah.
Because it's like massive wound going on. You got to fix and patch their car and all that stuff.
Right.
But the people you see 3, 4, 5 times a year, none of that's going on.
They're never coming on the hook, like you said. And,
Right.
and the simple thing is they've eliminated the events from their life. And the reason is because they are doing the little things. Listen, life's made up of a bunch of little things, okay? It's never the big major things that take us down. It's always the little things that build up.
Right.
And what happens is those little things can easily be identified when you're on a very routine schedule coming in. And you asked, what is the thing that people miss the most? They're usually very good about doing oil changes, but I mean, let's look at the tires, let's push that. Or, even the brakes, let's push that a little bit. Or how about just the routine maintenance? Tranny services, Dave, come on.
Yeah, for
something
me,
near and dear to your heart.
That's near and dear to my heart because, transmissions, they fail 4-to-1 over engines.
You bet.
Right? Everyone gets their engine changed,
right.
but they don't change their fluid in their transmission. So,
right.
Same kind of thing. So that's the one that goes. And they're always at my shop. They're like, wow, it's 150,000 miles. Have you done it before? No, I haven't. Wow, you waited a long time. So some of that stuff is super, super key, and even stuff like changing your cabin filter.
You bet. Well, and that's the thing. The filters, the cabin filters. Cars are actually very much built better nowadays, but there is more maintenance to do along the way, and it really is inexpensive if you keep up on it. It's when you get those big bills and, like you said, triage, that's when you've neglected. You know what I mean? Some things for a good repair.
You actually, if you're proactive and consistent with it, you're going to avoid the big bills.
You absolutely.
You're gonna avoid that. Oh man, that $2,000, that $4,000 repair that nobody wants.
You bet.
And if you can avoid that, you can save money. One of the things that's really, really good to be proactive, and it's the first thing that's going to put you on the tow truck or on the hook, or when you're all dressed up to go to that graduation, and you go out to your car and you turn the key and it just goes click.
Yeah.
And nothing really happens. Maybe it doesn't even go click.
Yeah.
That's your battery.
Yeah.
Now, listen, this is proactive or reactive. You can be proactive about when you get a battery, or you can be reactive about when you get a battery. Your car can decide, or you can decide when you get a battery. And so at our shop, for our customers that we see on a regular basis, we are regularly checking their battery. And if the battery, some of these batteries, they'll tell you they're going to go before they go. Hey, guess what? Your battery's bad. Hey, we're going to recommend you an Interstate Battery because they're covered coast to coast. It's a great brand. They've been around a long time, and they're going to take care of that brand. It's not a fly-by-night battery company.
No.
And Interstate, you're going to find them in a lot of shops across the valley. So anyhow, when we come back, we're taking your phone calls at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You can also text us at 411-923. You listen to Bumper to Bumper Radio. We'll be right back.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20-plus years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
That's our closing line, Pops.
I know, Jeff. Just reinforcing that we're full-service auto repair.
At Kurt's Auto Repair, we do it all, including diesel. We have the passion, training, equipment, and expertise for diesel. Our techs are ASE certified for diesel and advanced diesel diagnostics. Toy hauling, horse trailering, off-roading, or work trucking, we've got you covered.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's. Check us out at mycarhurts.com.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio. Matt Allen is off, so I've got Lee Weatherby with Accurate Automotive in here to help you with your car. To get hold of the show, 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You can also text us at 411-923. Whether you're wondering about maintenance and when I should get in the shop, if you're wondering about, man, I keep having to buy a new window motor for my car, can't they make a decent window motor? If you're wondering about, hey, transmission service, if you got some sort of weird vibration or you got, you name it, we can talk about it. Maybe your air conditioner's not working right because that's the hot top. I mean, the cool topic right now.
Yeah, nice spin on words here, Dave.
However you want to look at it. 602-277-5827 and text us at 411-923. And, it's that time of year, Lee, where the air conditioned phone calls are coming in.
Oh, absolutely.
Been a little light. This May was a little light from last May.
You bet. We've really had some soft weather, coming up for Arizona, and now it's I kind of feel like we're going to get caught up pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have it's time to pay the piper.
Oh, yeah.
I
think we better be ready for a nice hot summer. And, that's always a great thing, but it's always the time when cars break down. Heat is one of those things that, enhances, components to have to work harder and thereby they're going to be breaking down more often.
And maybe you're one of those people that pulls into the old quickie lube.
Yeah.
And you're doing that. One of the things that the quickie lube, they're not going to spot repairs that they don't do.
Right.
And so this is where the reactive and the proactive thing comes in. But maybe you've been doing that and you haven't actually had a technician under your hood. And we need to do that before summertime. So if you haven't done that yet, get in the shop, get that checked out. make sure you're going to make it, and you can ask them, hey, is there anything here that's going to cause me any problems over the next 3 months? That's the relationship question.
You bet. And you know what? That's absolutely the perfect thing to lead in and ask with, because when customers are there, sometimes they feel as though they can ask the questions. And you know what? We need to make them feel very, very warm, welcome, and understand that, we're here to serve them. And the best part about it is you talked about family. They are our family. And you know what? I really love what I do. I'm grateful that I get to do it.
Right.
But the fun part about it is to do it and do it right. It just means we get to communicate together. We get to talk. We get to tell jokes together. But you know what? Tell me what you want, and then let me help you get there.
People are afraid to do that sometimes.
Sometimes they're reluctant. Yeah.
I know there's places I go shop. I'm like, well, do I really want to tell them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sometimes when I do call and I do ask good questions, I get great answers, and I'm surprised how much people are ready and willing to help me. And that's, if you're not at a shop where you can do that, it might be time to look for another shop.
I agree with that. And I will also tell you, back to the point we were talking about, some of these little quickie shops, they pull them in. They're really trained to do one thing, and that's, drain the oil, get a new filter on there, make sure it's the right one, you know what I mean, and make sure you get the right amount of oil back in it.
Dump and pump.
They're not really paying attention to anything else, so you're really not getting what you want, because when people come in for an oil change, they don't simply want an oil change. I mean, the truth of the matter is they want to know that their car is safe, that it's ready to go, that they can take it wherever they want. Exactly. They want peace of mind. And we should be willing to provide that for them.
For sure. Well, let's go with John in Glendale. He's got a 2011 Lexus. How can we help you on your Lexus, John? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I have a 450H, and it calls for synthetic oil. Do I have to change it every 3,000 miles?
It's a great question, John. The reality of it is, it really goes down to your driving habits, the type of driving habits that you have. But most often, you can extend synthetic because it dissipates heat at a higher level, all right, than regular engine oil. Or even the blends. But generally 5,000 is probably a good barrier. I know that the manufacturer will tell you can go 10 to 15 in some cases, and I'm just going to tell you it's just not a good practice if your intention is to keep your vehicle for a goodly period of time. But 3,000 might be a little premature.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, but 5,000 is probably, 7,500 is what they like, or what they usually program into the vehicles, I think.
My car doesn't require synthetic, but it's what I use.
Right.
And I don't do it every 3, I do it every 5.
Right, which is perfect.
Which is about right.
You got to find your own role there, John.
For sure. Thanks so much for the call. 602-277-5827. Let's go with Dave in Sun City. He's got a 1997 Oldsmobile 88. How can we help you, Dave? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi, guys. I have not a major problem with this car, but a persistent leak in the power steering system. And there's a man that attends my church who is a certified mechanic, and one of the things he does, because he is a Christian, is he's helping a little old guy like me out taking care of my car. And he has suggested to me that I look into getting Lucas power steering fluid, that would stop up that leak.
What would you know specifically, Dave, what's actually leaking? There's going to be pressure hoses, or going to be a return hose.
We have not been able to determine that because we just know it's coming out
right
down off the rack, and not sure. Is this stuff viable?
Sure. Go ahead, Lee.
Dave, to answer your question is, Lucas and some of the other products that are out there certainly have a viable, but there's no such thing as mechanic in a can, if you will. To what Dave was suggesting, you really need to isolate and track and find that leak, because obviously the best medicine is let's find and focus on what the problem is, and let's try to address that first before we try to do some kind of patch and play type things. Will it work? Is it a good additive? It's probably as good as any of the others out there. Do I think it's a fix-all? The answer is no. Do I think you'll be satisfied? There again, it's going to depend on your level of satisfaction, but the reality of it is, and I understand there's not a shop, you know what I mean, that it is in the network that wouldn't love the opportunity to try to help you and serve you. You know, I know you've got a guy that goes to your church and everything else, and I'm sure he's wonderful. But I would say if this may be just a tad beyond him, that's okay. Take it to one of the shops, you know what I mean, in the Bumper to Bumper network, and let him get a good evaluation.
Let's get
for
good
you.
facts before we prescribe something. Like, you know, it's like, hey, take 2 of these and call me in the morning. Will it work? I have no idea. You know, it's one of those things, because it could be something as simple as changing an O-ring on it. You know,
exactly.
You know, it could be something simple like that. I know with transmissions, they have Lucas oil, and someone gets a leak. The first thing they do is they pour that stuff in. Right. Well, that stuff maybe is a roadside fix. You know, but sometimes it can actually do more damage than good, because what it does is actually takes and swells the seals
Coagulates,
up. And then those seals, I mean, they tear, they rip, they cut. And so, as a patch, but it's not a long-term fix, and it actually could do more damage than good. So
agreed wholeheartly.
You guys don't sell mechanic in a bottle over there at Accurate?
No.
I thought you guys carried that.
I'm still looking for it, Dave. You know, I just haven't found it.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, it's funny. There's all kinds of additives. There's few that I actually really like. You know, one of the additives I do like is like the Techron that you can put in your fuel system for cleaning. You know, little bottle you put in the fuel tank. But there's not a ton of like additives or, you know, mechanics in a bottle. What's another one that you find that you like? You know,
we use BG products quite a bit, and we love them. But the reality of it is, then again, they're not a fix-all. They're kind of an amendment to some of the things. They help to dissipate some of the heat, like we're talking about, just like synthetics do. But ultimately, you have to find the cause, the source. You know what I mean? And once you're at the source, man, everything gets easy, because from that point on, you know what I mean, most things that come in bottles and cans have a great intention, but they don't always exceed or meet the expectancy of what we, you know, the buying public want.
I've actually, you know, I've seen it, and we got to be careful, and that's one thing this show is designed to do, is to kind of put you in the know about some norms for auto repair, so nothing sounds off the wall. You're like, oh, I think I've heard this. This sounds familiar, you know, that kind of thing. So we want to put you in the know, and there's a lot of advice, well-intentioned bad advice out there. You know, everybody's got an opinion, and the thing is that if you're out of the auto repair business for 5 years, you're out of loop.
You are out of the loop.
If you're out of the business for 10 years, you're out of loop. If you took a technician from 1970 and you brought him forward into the future, you know, to this year, and you dropped him in the shop and you said, hey, we need you to release the parking brake on that Mercedes over there and check the brakes. Could he do it?
Might take him 10, 15 minutes to find it.
10, 15 minutes to find it, and then once he found it, he still doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so there's just so much that's changed, and so we're kind of keeping in the know, and, you know, covering some of those old wives' tales and things that people kind of know, some of that advice, you know, that well-intentioned bad advice. Everyone's got a neighbor that knows something about everything. You know that guy?
I call them the theys. Everybody's got a they. They told me to do this, and they told me to do that, and, you know, now we've got the internet.
For sure,
They know the best, right?
Just so you know, I am YouTube certified, so I can handle just about anything from YouTube.
Oh my!
Anyway, when we come back, we got Diego, we've got Jim, we've got Bill, and we got more open lines at 602-277-5827, 602-277 KTAR. You listen to Bumper Radio. We'll be right back.
It sounds like they've just had the Accurate Automotive experience. We're family-owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
The lights flash. Your heart races. What the heck is going on with my car? Not those lights. The ones on your dashboard. I'm Dave Riccio. As one of your KTAR car guys, we speak fluent car, truck, and SUV. And on Bumper to Bumper Radio, we'll decode what those warning lights on your dashboard might actually mean. For that and more, make sure to tune in every Saturday morning at 11 right here on 92.3 KTAR News. And remember, you can check us out 24/7 at bumpertobumperradio.com.
Here's what Carrie from Tempe had to say about her experience with Good Works Auto Repair.
As soon as you realize, I need to get some work done on my car, I'm sure the thought occurs to you that you're about to get taken for a ride. I used to share the same sentiment and wondered if the shop was going to make something up and have me spending hundreds of dollars instead of $30 I was planning on for a simple oil change. This is one of the reasons I will only go to Good Works Auto Repair. Because I trust them. Putting trust in an auto shop didn't come easily. It's been built over several visits with them doing exactly what was needed, not coercing me into unnecessary work. Ask them for an oil change and a safety inspection, they do just that. No baloney, list of filters, belts, and whatchamacallits that need replacing on my new car. Thank you, Good Works Auto Repair, for being there for me when I need you.
Appreciate the kind words. It's always a pleasure. Glenn Hayward here. Come experience what award-winning auto service should be. Good Works Auto Repair in Tempe, or visit us at goodworksautorepair.com.
Arizona's news station. KTAR. On air, 92.3 FM. Online at KTAR.com. And streaming live on the KTAR News app. Your breaking news and traffic. Now.
KTAR News Time, it's 11:30. I'm Amy Pohl. The Arizona Attorney General's office is reminding you about employment scams if you are out looking for a job. Katie Connor with the AG's office wants you to keep an eye out for...
Research the employer advertising the job before providing your resume or any personal information. Be cautious of unsolicited job offers. And remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
The AG's office warns everyone, especially recent grads, to be cautious and look out for red flags that could signal a scam. The Mission Act is live at the Phoenix VA. It'll allow more health care access in a timely way, with more choices for veterans. If they can get primary care in 20 days, they can go into the community, and it's 28 days for specialty care. And now for a check on traffic. Here's Mike Daniels live in the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
Thank you, Amy. We got a few surface street accidents, one in Glendale at 67th Avenue, just north of Thunderbird at Redfield Road, a wreck in Buckeye at Watson Road south of the I-10, and still working that crash on Union Hills Drive at 31st Avenue. This traffic report brought to you by Smokey's Garage Door. Is your garage door squeaking, rattling, or just not working? The pros at Smokey's Garage Door will get you back on track fast. Free estimates and same-day service available. Just click Smokey'sGarageDoor.com. I'm Mike Daniels, KTAR News.
KTAR weather for the Valley. Today's forecast, it's 90 degrees in Scottsdale, sunny with a high of 100. Tonight, clear, the low at 72. And tomorrow, mostly sunny, your high of 105. And in the evening, mostly clear, the low of 76. Weather brought to you by Howard Air. Whether replace or repair, call Howard Air. I'm Amy Pohl on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Get to work informed and on time with the Valley's only all-news morning show.
Grand Canyon Tourists contributed more than $1 billion to the local economy in 2018.
Arizona's morning news, weekdays 5 to 9. KTAR News 92.3 FM and the KTAR News app.
Life's good news often comes with a little bad news, right? Hi, Dave Riccio, owner of Tri-City Transmission and co-host of Bumper to Bumper Radio. Car repair seems to follow that same trend. The good news, transmissions are lasting twice as long as they used to. The bad news, they can cost as much as $1,000 more than you might remember. So if you're going to have to spend some money on a new transmission, you want to be sure you really need it. And if you do, that it's done right at a fair price. For over 45 years, Tri-City Transmission has built a reputation for having the experience and expertise to properly diagnose and repair your transmission without costly overhaul or replacement. If we do have to recommend a major transmission repair, you can be assured you're getting an honest recommendation and a job done right at a fair price. I guarantee it. Check us out online at TriCityTransmission.com. That's TriCityTransmission.com. TriCityTransmission.com.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20-plus years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
He's the most important guy in your life. We're talking about your dear old dad. I'm Greg Ellis.
And I'm Jim Hill. And with Father's Day right around the corner, we're here to tell you about a very special event for the dad who's a golfer.
Come join the Bunker to Bunker gang live at the PGA Tour Superstore in Chandler, where we're having a super pre-Father's Day sale this Saturday, June the 8th.
There will be a special giveaway for those who show up early.
For more details, check it out at bunkergolf.com.
Few cities are as car-centric as Phoenix, and this is the show that'll help you to better understand that machine you depend on to get around the valley. It's Bumper to Bumper Radio. KTAR News on 92.3 FM and the KTAR app for Android and iPhone.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio. Matt Allen is out today, so you're not stranded with just me. I've got Lee Weatherby from Accurate Automotive in here to help you with your car. And if you're new, tuning in for the first time, and you're saying, hey, what the heck is this Bumper to Bumper Radio all about? Well, let me tell you what it's about. It's a show designed to put you in the know about your car. You don't have to know every nut and bolt, every color of every wire, and how everything works, but just to put you at ease and give you some comfort about your car. And so nothing sounds totally foreign when you go to the auto repair shop for your maintenance or for full repair if you need repair. The other thing that Bumper to Bumper Radio is, and where you'll find Lee at Accurate Automotive, on our website, bumpertobumperradio.com, there's a list of shops all over the valley. These are shops that Matt and I would just carte blanche refer you to, say go over there. These guys will take great care of you. And it's a place where you can get a relationship going. Lee, you're talking a lot about relationship. You got to have a relationship. You want to know your dentist. You want to know your auto shop. So it's comfortable because it's something inevitably you're going to have to deal with. You might as well like who you're dealing with.
You bet.
For sure. So, in a couple shops I want to just make mention of, there's shops, we have shops all over the valley, but there's Kurt's Auto Repair. They're up there off of Bell in roughly 20th Avenue. Great auto shop. It really is family run. Everyone in there is family, and that's a really cool thing, because these are people you're going to run into at the grocery store. You're going to see them, and they're going to say hi because they're not ducking you because they did everything right on your car and they took care of you. So that's one. There's also Shadow Mountain Auto Repair, which is at 32nd Street in Shea. That's the neighborhood where I grew up, and a lot of my friends still live over there, and I say, hey, who takes care of your car? Oh, we go to Shadow Mountain Auto. So it's another great shop. You can find it Bumper to Bumper Radio. The other thing that's there's all kinds of information that we put up about auto repair, and as the days go on, you can even find our old shows on there as well. If you're like, what were they talking about last week? They were saying something about lights on the dashboard, and I really want to know what they were talking about. You can find that at our website for sure. So we've got Ed, and we've got Jim, and we've got Bill, but we're going to go with Diego in Peoria. He's got a 2005 Dodge Ram 1500. How can we help you, Diego? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Thank you for taking my call. My question is more around the timing chain or timing belt. I'm not really sure when they should be replaced. If the truck's still running well, should I replace it or just keep going till it doesn't?
Diego, that's a great question. And for timing chains and things of that nature, especially in the 2005s, there's no real kind of set standard that says, you do it at this particular point in time. At Accurate Automotive, we kind of have a set rule around 160K for chains on vehicles with chains. We want to start listening, to the front of that engine and see if there's any telltale signs of something coming loose, anything that would indicate that there could be a potential problem inside. And from as soon as you get to that mileage or in that vicinity, we want to start thinking about, approaching that. If you start to have an oil leak from the timing cover, something of that nature, it's always a good idea, to go just a few extra steps and replace chain, gears, guides, anything that may be in there that will take care of that to help you prolong the life of your vehicle and get as many miles of it as you'd like.
And belts are different than chains. So belts we worried about belts breaking. They definitely have to be serviced typically at mileage intervals. Now, chains is one of those things, like you say, we start listening to the front of the motor. Yep. We're typically going to address a chain when we have a symptom. Like you say, we've got an oil leak at the timing cover. It's got 160,000 miles on it. We're pulling the cover off anyway. Yeah, let's go ahead and change out the chain.
Right.
So
and a lot of it, Diego, depends on your wishes and desires. If your intention is to keep that vehicle for 500,000 miles, then certainly somewhere around 180 to 200, we're going to be recommending, hey, let's get a timing chain and gears on this thing. You know what I mean? So we can make sure that occurs for you.
And the other thing too, and that comes back to the oil changes.
Right.
The type of things that wear out when you're not changing your oil.
Bet.
Timing chains.
You bet.
It becomes an issue. So good oil changes, and regardless of some of these manufacturer recommendations that are crazy, like, you can wait 10,000 miles to change your oil, that's because they sell parts too. So
that's right.
Anyway, thanks for the call, Diego, 602-277-5827. We're going to go with Jim in Mesa. He's got a 2014 Chevrolet truck. How can we help you, Jim? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm curious, on a 2014, how soon or how often should you have that engine tuned up, and how many miles should you go before you have the transmission oil replaced?
Well, that's a kind of a two-part question. I would say on the transmission part of it, I would be servicing at least by 50,000 miles. So, I tell people just on average between 30 and 50,000 miles. We're going to vary that number depending on the type of transmission that it is. Some we know are more failure prone. We're going to speed that up toward the 30,000 mile mark. And then some we know, not a ton of problems with that, maybe more toward the 50,000 mile mark. But on that truck, it probably more than likely is a 6L80. Every 50,000 miles would be sufficient for that. And then the other part of it, Lee, was as far as the tune-up goes.
Yeah, and here's the thing. A lot of it's going to be dependent on the type and style of driving that you're doing. How many miles are you putting on it? Because I also like to look at years instead of just miles for some of these maintenance services. For example, a lot of the newer vehicles are direct injected, so they have a little bit more buildup on the inside of the motors. Right. You want to do some cleanings, which in the olden days, tune-ups, everybody thought they were just spark plugs and, oil change drop and things like that. You don't do a lot of that, what I mean, in the newer modified engines that they have. Generally about 90 to 100,000 is when we're going to be replacing the plugs and stuff. But along the way, there's tons of things that you can do that are what we're going to call tune-up or maintenance-related type things, throttle body, induction cleanings, things of that nature, making sure, like Dave mentioned earlier, keeping your filters fresh and clean. And a lot of that is not necessarily just set on mileage. It could be by years as well, because even the fluid, and I think Dave will be the first to tell you, you don't want your fluid sitting in there for 8 or 10 years if you're only driving this thing 4,000 or 5,000 miles a year.
Coolant for sure turns acidic just by sitting there in the driveway.
You bet.
So for sure. So 50,000 miles on the transmission service, and then get a relationship with somebody. Make sure they're taking care of your car. And but the modern car, there's not a lot of tuning. It's more cleaning that goes on because they really tune themselves.
They really do.
As long as everything is clean and in working order. So thanks for the call, Jim. 602-277-5827. We're going to go with Bill in Phoenix. He's got a 2010 Chrysler Town and Country. How can we help you, Bill? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio. Hey, you with us, Bill? Hey, Bill? We are going to come back to Bill, and we're going to go with, looks like Ed in Scottsdale. He's got a 2006 Nissan Altima. How can we help you, Ed? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yes. I have a question. How you do? Good morning. My Nissan Altima have 87,000 miles. I want to keep for at least 1 more years. It doesn't leak. It's running at least. It doesn't run smooth. Do you recommend any tune-up for this car?
For sure. Hey, Ed, and one question I have for you: 86,000 miles. You said you're only going to keep it for another year. Is it you just want something different?
Well, I want to keep for both. This is running okay, but just I would like to run very more smooth than supposed to be. Yeah. How much cost the tune-up?
Okay, for a tune-up on that. So, Lee, what are you thinking on your recommendation on a 2006 Nissan Altima? He's asking tune-up questions. And,
Ed, what I would probably be doing something of that nature is I would go in and did I understand that you said that it wasn't running well at this time? I would probably want to address the computer, see if there's anything that gives you a telltale sign. But, I mean, as far as tune-up goes, real straightforward. You're going to want to, be addressing the spark plugs and the plug wires or the coil boots. You know what I mean? Going to want to make sure that you get your air cleaner and stuff taken care of. And you're going to want to do that induction service like I was talking about, getting that thing clean. And then when you do the oil service, you know what I mean? Let's make sure that we do a good engine flush on that, making sure that, you don't have anything clogged up on the inside, and making sure that thing can breathe well, so it has the ability to run really, really well.
And we're talking about mileage a year. He's got a 10-year-old vehicle.
Yep.
Let's see. 06 is older, a 13-year-old vehicle with only 86,000 miles on it. So he's 8 to 10,000 miles a year.
Really, really
It's
low
not
mileage.
been driven a lot.
Yep.
But that's one of those things where, hey, it's 10 years old. If the coolant hasn't been changed, that's one of those things that needs to be changed. And that's where you're talking about age and what kind of things playing on age. And I think line number 9 is Matt. And let me see if I can bring him in here. I haven't seen this guy in a while. I kind of feel like I no longer have a co-host. Hey, Matt, are you there?
I'm here. I figured I better call in. I think this is now 5 weeks in a row I've been out. I don't want you guys to forget about me.
Good to hear from you, Matt.
We pretty much have.
Yeah, right. I don't doubt it a little bit, but I'm calling all the way from Koper, Slovenia.
Wow.
Yeah, the sun is setting at about 8:45 right now, and we've been on a family vacation for, gosh, I don't know, it feels like years.
Been following you on Facebook, and it looks like you're doing it right, Matt. Way to go.
Just so you know, I've been enjoying your house, but you've been gone. So it's been
good. As long as you're keeping it clean and feeding the dog and picking up the dog poop.
No, this is like coming home to a teenage party when you're away. Your house is trash,
man.
for sure. So yeah, when are you actually coming back?
Get back in late Tuesday night, so hopefully I'll be back to work Wednesday, and then I'll be back in the studio on Saturday, and cut you some slack and maybe get you some time off, and so you're not the only one pulling the rope for the Bumper to Bumper crew.
Well, I appreciate you thinking of me, and Lee's helping me out, so get me through. And Carrie and I've been picking on you behind your back, so.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. I think Michael's there today, so yeah, same thing. I would imagine you guys are telling lies about me and such, but
for sure.
I heard they call that love, Matt.
You heard what?
Said I heard they call that love in some circles.
Yeah, right. So, but it's interesting. A lot of funky cars over here I've been taking pictures of, and just different stuff when it comes to. I'm always intrigued by the cars on the road and the signs for the advertisements and the oil and the gas. Just all the car related stuff is pretty neat.
How's your diet going, Matt? How's your diet going?
Hey, we're walking. We're getting 20,000 steps a day on the Fitbit. So
awesome.
Yeah, so a little. If I wasn't eating so much, I'd have even more of a loss. But I do have a net loss on this trip, so it's difficult though. Lots of good food over here, and
for sure.
We'll be in Venice tomorrow for a couple days, and then it's time to come home. I mean, I haven't seen my own bed since the 24th of May. So
for sure. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you back next week, and thanks for chiming in.
Good, guys.
Have fun, Matt.
No problem. All right, take care. See you guys. Bye.
Well, when we come back, we've got Bill in Phoenix with that 2010 Chrysler Town & Country, and Bob with the 98 Chevy pickup, and maybe time for a couple more at 602-277-5827. You listen to Bumper to Bumper Radio.
What's the right call after a car accident? Hi, Leo Petrozello for Campus Auto Body Salon. I invite you to check us out online and see why so many people have made us their first call following their accident. Bumper to Bumper Radio approved, 5-star rated with Yelp and CarWise.com, and A+ rated by the BBB. Make your first call the right call to Campus Auto Body Salon. Check us out online at campusbodysalon.com. Serving the Valley since 1973. Campus Auto Body Salon, the best care in collision repair.
Honesty and integrity, it's the only option. Hi, Spencer Doucet for H&I Automotive. H is for honesty and I is for integrity. We built our business on these two principles.
Hi, this is Danny Grant. And I'm Paul Garcia. We're Spencer's business partners. Originally, we were customers that were referred by friends to check out this great shop in Mesa. We saw for ourselves how special the experience was at H&I.
Yep, we went from raving fans to good friends to enthusiastic partners when Spencer was looking to expand his business to the East Valley.
Thanks, guys. The overwhelming support from our customers, families, and partners has allowed us to celebrate the opening of our second, brand new, state-of-the-art location in Gilbert. 2 locations, same principles. Quality service at a great value that you can count on for all your automotive needs. Backed with an industry-leading 60-month, 60,000-mile parts and labor warranty. We invite you to check us out at HandIAutomotive.com.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family-owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, oh yeah, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. 1 location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
Yeah. That's a loud, noisy, feel-good song. You always surprise me, Carrie, a little bit about your music, you know? I kind of feel like you got a different car you drive, different lifestyle that I don't even know anything about. Man of mystery. He's a rocker because he's always picking this music.
Well, I picked for the show.
He's eclectic.
The golf show is a whole different thing for you.
Oh, yeah.
I got to pick for you. Matt's
okay.
a different thing.
I appreciate
country,
that.
So, yeah.
I gotcha, for sure. Well, we've got Jeff, Bob, Brett, and Bill, but I did want to get to a couple of these texts here. This isn't a mechanical question. This person says, this isn't a mechanical question, but it's my 3rd summer here, and I'm dying. Oh, listen, it only gets worse the longer you live here. Do you guys know of a window shade that really keeps the heat out of the car? You know what? Lee says, hey, at Accurate Automotive, we provide window shades for all of our customers, as well as goodie bags,
We
you know?
We do.
For those of you that grew up here in town, Wallace and Ladmo, remember that little brown paper bag that they gave out? I really wanted those. I never was on the show, so I never got one. But you can get one at Accurate Automotive.
The Ladmo bag.
As well as a window shade. But the particular window shade that I use in my car I actually get from Dashmat. It's a company. You can actually buy it specifically for your car. It's nice and thick, and you can tell it's got the bubbles in the inside, and it's foily on the outside, and it rolls up, and it's pretty nice. Or you can go see Lee at Accurate Automotive. Either one of those will take care of you. I've also got a text here, 2011 Silverado, 1,500, 142,000 miles. When it's in V4 mode, vibration on slight acceleration. I believe the V4 mode, he's referring to that alternative fuel or active fuel management.
Active management, right.
And what it's doing is it's canceling cylinders, and so you're running on 4 instead of 8. Well, I'll tell you what, if your engine's not running good, and you cut it down to 4, it's going to run worse. So I think there may be some, that's a little bit of diagnostic work needs to be going on. Something is happening there. And there's solenoids that control oil pressure and oil flow to turn, lifters on and off to make that system work. And
there's a whole manifold there. You got the wiring that feeds all that.
And this is the maintenance thing is that you don't want to skip oil changes because that oil controls the active fuel management.
It does.
So
oil pressure.
Oil pressure. So, and I see, these Ford 5.4s, people go, not good on the oil changes, and you're doing actuators and chains and all that stuff.
You bet.
It gets real expensive, man. Oil changes are cheap when compared to the repairs that you'd be looking at.
They absolutely are.
For sure. Let's get to one of these phone calls. We're going to go with Bob in Phoenix with the 1998 Chevy pickup. How can we help you, Bob? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yeah, I have the pickup, and I had it stall on me and not start well. Checked the fuel pressure, and it was fairly low, so I replaced the fuel pump and the filter. It starts up great in the morning when it's cold. After it's warm, if it sits a while, it cranks like it's trying to start. It goes real fast, but it doesn't quite catch. I checked the pressure again, and the pressure is good. The pressure is running almost 60 pounds the whole time. It doesn't leak off. It goes down to about 52 pounds and just stays there when the engine's not running. So what the heck is going on?
Yeah, that's well. The nice thing is it's consistently right. If you got a consistent problem, it's certainly easier than go every third Wednesday. I got this problem when the car's warm, But when it's consistent like that, we're going to get it hot, and then we're going to go see what's missing.
Right.
Maybe something electrical's dropping out. Anything, if it's in your bay, what kind of stuff are you going to?
What year was that?
You said it was a 1998 Chevy pickup.
98. You're gonna want to try to pay particular attention to maybe some of the spark plugs. How are they functioning and operating? You want to look at the cross counts on the fuel, make sure that you're getting full complement of fuel to the injectors and everything else. I would tell you that you're going to want to check your distributor pretty well, make sure and see if you don't have something going on, because in '98 they had the 350 motor, I believe, still in the GMs there, and they had that distributor that would walk back and forth, and you could get yourself in trouble with that. So I would just tell you that those would be some of the areas that I'd probably try to pay some attention to, and see what you've got.
Yeah, see what's dropping out that's not allowing that thing to start. But it's going to take some diagnostic work. But the nice thing is it's consistent. So if you can recreate it, we can certainly find it and fix it.
You bet.
So thanks for the call. We're going to go with Bill in Phoenix with a 2010 Chrysler Town and Country. How can we help you, Bill? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi, thanks for taking the call.
You bet.
I have a problem with the when it's running hot, or I'm staying on idle for a while, like on the freeway when it's in a rush hour, all the lights start coming out, start blinking, all the lights on the dashboard. And also when I turn on the AC, it does it real fast.
Okay. Is your temperature gauge going out, Bill? Your temperature going up?
Yes, but it's been doing that before it started going up. So I just replaced the water pump, and now it's running normal, but it's still doing it.
Okay. Well, it's one of those things, and this is one thing for everybody out there right now. If your car starts running warm coming into summertime, don't keep driving it.
Yeah.
Because nothing wrecks a car quicker than overheating your engine. In his case, he's talking about stop and go. Sounds like traffic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at cooling fans.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're going to want to definitely start looking at your cooling fans, making sure that they're functioning, coming on at the right times, right temperatures, right pressures. The lights are a little bit of a concern. Chrysler Town and Countries, they had, some wiring issues with the batteries leaking down on top of the wiring on the top of the tranny for even a period of time, where there's also a fuse block over there. And if you've got anything kind of corroded or corrupted over there, that could lend, to some of the issues you may be having, increase the potential for having an overheat situation that sounds like it's occurring.
One of the things that I hear on this show quite a bit on some of these calls, and this is something I think everybody can benefit from, he said, I just put a water pump on it.
Yeah, no.
In one of the things, we just did something, but we didn't do it for a reason. So if your car came in the shop, the last thing we would do would be just to throw a water pump on it. We would diagnose what's going on. Are the cooling fans coming on? Do we have air pockets in the system? What is happening here? Do we have a gauge that's misreading? There's all kinds of things that could go on, but you could possibly create a new issue trying to fix your car, and now we've doubled our problem. Now it's harder to figure out. And one of the things I see when people do some of these cooling system repairs in their driveway, there's air pockets in the system.
You bet.
And so they actually create a new overheating issue.
You bet. And Dave, you brought out the most important thing is, educate, and that's what you're doing. The key to it is we don't want to just start throwing parts at cars.
For sure. Well, I got a text here. This is someone said they're at Walmart. They couldn't believe how many stop leaks there are for power steering fluid. I think there's 2,700 down there, and none of them I'm going to recommend to you. So, anyway,
I wouldn't buy one of them.
Thanks for joining us, Lee. Thanks for coming in. Accurate Automotive, you can find them at bumpertobumperradio.com. They're off Robson there in Mesa. If you're looking for a friendly, honest, competent shop, competent's a big deal, you can find them at bumpertobumperradio.com. While you're there, be sure to like the Bumper to Bumper family on Facebook. Always remember never to text and drive. And from all the shops at Bumper to Bumper Radio, have a great weekend.